Since you have clicked on this video, 5 points to Gryffindor. Now, it's a common joke we have been sharing for ages. We have been saying that Albus Dumbledore has been partial or he favored Gryffindor in various ways. But when it's all said and done, let's think about, was Albus Dumbledore a good headmaster? Like, honestly, that's not an easy question to answer. I've asked myself this question more than once while reading the Harry Potter series. Sometimes he felt like the wisest man in the wizarding world. Other times, I wondered if he had gone too far, especially when it came to the risk he took with students' lives. Dumbledore was complicated. He was kind but secretive, powerful but flawed. Let's take a closer look at both sides before we come to a conclusion. So, why do I think he was a good headmaster sometimes? Because he protected the school for decades. Throughout his year as headmaster, Dumbledore kept Hogwarts safe, even during times of great danger. Yes, there was danger in the first place, but whether it was Voldemort's rise or the Chamber of Secrets opening, Dumbledore always tried to protect his students. Even when the Ministry of Magic wouldn't listen, he gave second chances. Dumbledore believed in redemption. He gave Hagrid a job after he was expelled. He trusted Snape. Even after his dark past, he gave Draco Malfoy a chance to choose a better path. These decisions shape people's values and lives. He let students be themselves. Dumbledore gave students the freedom to grow. Now, we may say that he was careless, reckless, whatever we say, at the end of the day, he allowed each student to be themselves and to do what they wanted to do. Think about Hermione. She was curious, she wanted to read more, do more, and Dumbledore helped her to do that. Then Luna's uniqueness, she supported her. Dumbledore let them all thrive. He understood that magic wasn't just about spells, it was about the characters. And he was also brave enough to admit his mistakes. Dumbledore wasn't afraid to say he was wrong. In the book The Half-Blood Prince, we see Dumbledore admits to Harry Potter that keeping secrets was a mistake. In Deathly Hallows, we learn that he struggled with power and guilt. This honestly made him a likable character. So these are some strong points of his character, but at the same time, especially as a headmaster, he had his flaws. Like, he kept Harry in the dark. This young boy who didn't know anything about magic, he arrived at Hogwarts without knowing that he had a deep connection with the guy, the Lord Voldemort, he who must not be named. He didn't know how serious risk he was at. If he knew, maybe he would be more careful. But Dumbledore decided to keep him in the dark. And later in the series, we find that Dumbledore accepts that it was his mistake to keep Harry in the darkness. But this mistake could actually cost Harry his life, since he didn't know the rules, the tales or the legends of the Hogwarts or surrounding areas. So he must have been informed before arriving this place. Dumbledore actually let dangerous things happen at Hogwarts. Let's be honest, Hogwarts wasn't always safe. In Harry's first year, a three-headed dog guarded a deadly object right under the school. In other years, the students were petrified, attacked by Death Eaters, or nearly killed. Should a headmaster have allowed that? Some terrible things also happened in the school, but Dumbledore was never a step ahead. He was always a step behind. He treated Harry like a weapon. In Deathly Hallows, it becomes clear that Dumbledore always knew Harry might have to die to defeat Voldemort. While he tried to protect Harry, he also used him as part of a larger plan. Was that clever strategy? Like, Dumbledore knew he needs Harry to defeat Voldemort. So this was the reason he kept protecting Harry to save him, to sacrifice in the bigger game, or was it genuine love for the kid who has lost his parents? So that's questionable right now, thinking about all the aspects. Look, Dumbledore is the headmaster. He has teachers who are expert in magic. Still, throughout the series, we find the children are taking a lot of responsibilities. They have responsibility to protect themselves, to protect Hogwarts, and a lot more. Now, you may say that, okay, it was brave of him to do that, but doing so, he was risking the lives of young wizards. Time and time again, it was Harry, Ron, and Hermione who had to take action. Dumbledore guided them, but he often stayed in the background. Shouldn't he have stepped in more directly instead of relying on these teenagers? Also, he had a dark past. We can't forget Dumbledore's history with Gellert Grindelwald. In his youth, he dreamed of wizard domination. Even though he later changed, the past haunts his story. Some readers feel uneasy about how long it took him to fight Grindelwald. So, was he a good or not? Now, I think it's mostly yes, but a little bit no. So, it's obviously no one is perfect, and so was Dumbledore. He wasn't perfect. He was good. He had good intention, but some of things he did, I can't agree. But he wasn't careless either. He made hard decisions, many of which involved risk, but he also inspired hope, courage, and unity in times of fear. He didn't always do what felt right, but he often did what he thought was necessary. Whether or not we agree with him, we can't deny that he shaped the wizarding world. So, as a reader, I admire Dumbledore, especially in the movies. His presence, the long beard, it generates respect towards him, and also throughout the book we find him taking wise decisions, but some were reckless. Some things he did as a headmaster seemed like, why isn't he taking early action? Dumbledore was indeed a good headmaster. He was good, maybe not the greatest, but he was good, and not the perfect one. And maybe that's what makes him so real. So if you enjoyed these deep dives into characters and the lessons behind famous stories, do subscribe my channel. We will discuss more about Hogwarts and other books, a lot of books. So do subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching.